Yeah, I'm shipping soon. And I'm Batman. Okay, people, welcome back to another Fwoosh Weekly. As always, I'm Robo, and guess what you don't have to listen to this week? There's not very much toy news. Which makes sense, as we've talked about several times over the past few weeks. It's Toy Fair season, or what would have been Toy Fair season if it hadn't been moved to the fall. Which is fine with me because New York is cold in February. I don't know why I went down like that. That's my cold voice. Ooh. Cold. But enough of that. Let's get to the pretty pictures, new action figures, gimme. I told you last week that Wonder Festival would be happening the day the weekly went live. And while there wasn't a lot of stuff within the Fwoosh wheelhouse, there was still some eye candy. Like the Figma Table Museum Mona Lisa, who I guess I've never imagined in 3D form. So my first reaction was, But the more I stare, the better it looks. And I'm guessing with some paint slapped on it, it's going to look even better. For Kyoto, here is another look at the amazing Yamaguchi Spider-Man 2.0. Just because. As good as this looks, I passed on it. But every time I see it in a display, at a show, in pictures, something, I get nudged closer and closer to... Because we all could use another Spider-Man on the shelf, right? But dang it, this format was specifically made for someone with Spidey's posing capabilities. For some newness, though, here is the Moon Knight that was teased last week, week before, sometime in there. Not as moon-covered as I was led to believe. I mean, there's some on the upper chest, but it gets less moony as it goes down. Moony? I'm also not minding the transition from plastic hood to cloth cape as much as I thought either. Definitely has that Kyoto thick guy look, like Captain America, where it's very meaty thighs and crotch. We also knew about Flash and Reverse Flash, where we speculated that there would be a heaping helping of lightning accessories, and they did not disappoint. A little sneaky reveal, though. Check out Reverse Flash's eyes. In the teaser, they matched Flash's, looking like regular human eyes, but in this booth shot, the figure has the blacked out sockets with the dots of red peering out. So it looks like there's going to be options for Reverse Flash and Zoom. That's pretty cool. And then finally, the full reveal for the amazing Yamaguchi My Hero Academia Kirishima. And look, it has all the swappable parts for full unbreakable form. I thought it'd just be the arms, maybe the head, but no, that is a full-on swappable torso sculpt. And you've already noticed the Ayazawa announcement, right? It's right there by the figure. There's a big placard. Eraserhead is my favorite of the show, so seeing that makes me want to go back, rewatch the show, catch up to where they are now, grab some of the figures I've skipped. Damn, good action figures. Hey! Did you miss out on last Halloween's 4 Horsemen Figura, Obscura, Headless Horseman? What was that? That's like the opening of a commercial. Have you or a loved one suffered from Figura Obscura deprivation? Contact the law offices of Jim, Eric, and Cornboy. But no, that Headless Horseman set was pretty sweet, and it just kind of came and went really fast. I talked about it, I admired it from afar, life moved on. That is until Veebs got his and started texting me pictures, and then, a jealous rage boiled up from within. Because if there's two things I'm known for, it's jealousy and rage. But again, life moved on. I settled into the idea of taking that money and spending it elsewhere. Little did I know that the 4 Horsemen would come back around several months later and announced a redecoed reissue. Can't complain though, because I really prefer the green here and the lighter hues on the rider. Hell, I even like the orange lining to the cape better because it stands out a bit more and ties into the pumpkins. I'm kind of glad I missed out the first time, or skipped. I didn't miss out, I skipped it, thinking, I don't need a Headless Horseman. Hey everybody, are you having fun with your Headless Horsemans? I'm happy for you. Speaking for myself, the only downside of not getting that first set is I can't give that horse to the NECA Dungeons & Dragons War Duke. But, I mean, again, life will go on. This goes up for pre-order March 1st on 4 Horsemen approved retailers like Big Bad Toy Store. And it sounds like the Headless Horseman will not be alone. It's in a set called a Retailer Appreciation Wave. Could there be a Father Christmas variant? Another Krampus? Something new? Something pulled from somewhere else? There's only a week and a half until March, so I'm figuring the news will be hot and heavy until then. In case you missed it, Veeb sat down with Trevor from NECA and they hashed out some updates for the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles cartoon Turtle Van. I have the video linked down below, and if I remember, it should be right here. They talk about some tweaks, some updates, some additions, but I think the big news was the less humpy roof. It's been years since I've seen the cartoon, probably since the original run, so I wouldn't have known the difference, but the comments I've seen online is, why is it so curved? Now it is flatter. If you skipped it because of that, and this makes it more appealing to you, they may be offering more up closer to ship date. Something you can lock in next week is Donatello's portable portal generator. It's essentially a diorama piece to spruce up Donnie's lab, looking very cartoon friendly with the sculpt and paints. There's also some lenticular screens that you can swap out to give you different locations, different dimensions. This will go up for pre-order next Tuesday at 11 a.m. Eastern, exclusively on the NECA store, so be on the lookout for that. As we've established several times, I'm not a Simpsons guy. I watched the first few seasons back when and never got into it after that. But that's okay, right? Right. But I have to keep bringing it up because every time Super7 dives deeper and deeper into variant looks for their Ultimates line, I just... yep, there's that. Haha. Well, okay, Radioactive Man I at least recognize, and I know Homer and Ned. Just not in these looks. And finishing off Wave 4 with Dredrick Tatum is just like, has me standing here. Yup, there you go. If you're into Simpsons, have at 'em. As an outside observer, it does feel like Super7 needs to get to the main characters in their main looks at some point. I know other companies have done that, and maybe they're just adding to those collections, but has that been a while? Like I said, I haven't kept up with Simpsons. The deeper the Ultimates line goes, the more those spots feel empty. But that's not all. There's also this tease for their Thundercats Ultimates line, which I'm guessing will be next week. And that's just me stating the obvious. I think everyone knows at this point, when we see a teaser, there's going to be pre-orders next week. Most of the time. Mezco's Toys Fair continued this week. The big thing I noticed was Living Dead dolls, but this is Fwoosh, baby. You know we're looking for some of that 1/12 collective action, and they gave it to us with the reveal of G.I.Joe Firefly. Or at least the reveal of more of his body, because we saw the reveal of his head and shoulders about 1.5 years ago. Which in the grand scheme of things, especially with Mezco, is not a bad thing. We see more of the figure. That means it's eventually coming, and eventually being the key word. Their G.I.Joe line hasn't even seen a release yet. Destro is pushing 2 years. I think that'll be next month. And then there's Roadblock and Snake Eyes and the tease of Storm Shadow and now Firefly. Was there something else in there? At this point, if you're interested, it's a pre-order and forget thing, because if it's not an in-house property, you're going to be waiting. Like the 89 Batman that's 3 years in. There's no sign of... what? Holy shit. Is that a shipping soon notice? I think that's one of the 7 seals of the apocalypse, right? You have your black horse. Oh, which we just saw with the Headless Horseman. You got your red horse, your pale horse, your souls crying out, your Batman 89 finally shipping. Cats and dogs living together. Guys, mass hysteria. Hell. The timing is a bit suspect, though. For the first 2.5 years, most of us thought that they may have bitten off more than they could chew. They hadn't done a seamless body before, so all that time was maybe going into engineering and factory process, trial and error. But as Michael Keaton's slowly moved into the collective consciousness of the DCU, we started thinking, surely not. But then, within a week of the trailer for Flash that shows Michael Keaton as Batman, we get shipping notices? Was Mezco holding back to ride the hype? Or was it Warner Brothers being their usual, living in their own reality selves? That wouldn't surprise me. Oh, Synergy and company, we gotta hold off. Don't give them guns, though. No trigger. Bottom line, though, I'm ready to see if it was worth the wait. Because, and I've said this several times, for a lot of people, this is a make or break situation. If a 3-year process does not deliver an awesome action figure, I'm just saying. More than a handful of pretty promotional pictures from McFarlane Toys DC Multiverse line this week. They ain't showing any signs of slowing down. In fact, it seems to be ramping up, if that can be believed. First, the glamour shots for their Dark Knight trilogy hit a few weeks ago. You know what that means? It's time for some pre-orders. Batman is a little more two-tone than I remember from the movies, but then again, it was dark in a lot of scenes, so maybe this is what it looked like. Either way, it looks pretty good. Joker's likeness isn't the greatest, but that's what we see in the multiverse line when it comes to live action. It's a bit todified. Still captures the overall essence, though, because of, you know, the suit, the paint. The pile of money is unique, though. That is my biggest draw, after getting several ledgers from different companies. Scarecrow is a texture playground, from the exaggerated details of the suit to the burlap of the robe and the mask, but I think it fits into that fear gas vibe they're going for. The toothpaste accident stands out way too much, though. Two-Face also veers away from that dent resemblance, but the burnt half more than makes up for it. That's right in McFarlane's wheelhouse. Oh, you want some exposed flesh and charred skin? There you go. There's a trigger finger just waiting for a gun to be pulled from some other toy line. But if I were to get this, I think the coin-holding hand would be prominent. And then all 4 figures come with parts and pieces to build your own Bane. I will say small head, big hands seems light on the paint apps, but it's still my favorite for simply being Bane, I guess. Crazy thing, though, what if I told you that orders made through McFarlane's toy store are already shipping?
It would be extremely surprising.
Oh yeah, you seem like a patient
For you.
The Target exclusive gold label Impulse and Project Superman just barely missed the last weekly. You like that? I'm blaming the toy company. They missed me. I didn't miss them. After the Superboy, I expected a much younger Impulse, but I don't know that storyline. So seeing this, I think, oh, well, it's an older Impulse. Cool. And then I'm not familiar with Project Superman either. I guess this is him imprisoned and then released during Flashpoint, which they're adapting into the Flash movie. Again, how about that timing? No way this is a coincidence. This is planned. Like this, McFarlane also revealed their movie Flash figure, which makes you think they've got to get into Keaton Batmans, which makes you think after that, oh, Mezco, did you send out shipping notices because you knew McFarlane was going to debut a Michael Keaton Batman, and people may go, cancel this because I'm going to get this. Here is the Target exclusive gold label DC Future State Jokerized Dark Detective Batman. I'm not sure if this is an actual thing in the comics, but Todd did say
we're going to be doing a whole run where we're actually Jokerizing some of the Batman family characters.
And haven't I been professing my love for cheap props lately? So of course this comes with 4 Jokerized playing cards. Just right there. Get the figure, get the playing cards. And then today, Saturday, as I'm recording this, they reveal their Titans Build-A-Wave Donna Troy. Never stops. Weekends, holidays, McFarlane's gonna be like, you want some more DC Multiverse? Boop, there you go. But it wasn't all fun and games. There was also the McFarlane Toys store exclusive Platinum Edition of Mr. Freeze. Now, when the original version of this figure debuted, a lot of us were like, ooh, I'd like to see that with more color. Oh, ba-boom. And it being superpowers flavored makes it even more enticing, that nostalgia factor kicking in. But apparently Platinum Edition means pain in the ass to get, because this shot up really quick last week and then was taken down. The whole page, everything. And at the time I thought that had to be a mistake. There was no announcement. There was no glamour shot. There was no build-up. So maybe next week it'll go up proper style. Nope, this week went up again, sold out, they took the page away again. I'm sure it's one of those collectors enjoy having rare items in their collection, or it's the thrill of the hunt. But at this point, I think a lot of us are just like, can I have the toy? Can somebody please allow me to buy this toy? Somebody. Or maybe I'm just jumping the gun. Maybe it'll pop back up because them pulling the sold out page instead of just leaving it up with the sold out label on it is kind of weird. I guess we'll wait and see. Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania opened this weekend, so of course Bandai's going to use the hype to announce their new S.H. Figuarts Ant-Man. Looks nice, but for me, again, I can only speak for myself. With the Ant-Man suits, it's becoming more of an Iron Man type thing, where I see it, I know it's Ant-Man, but the little changes to the design is just a blur. If you stood them side by side, I couldn't tell you which appearance it's actually representing. But as a figure, it looks good. Although I can't help focusing on the exposed neck. Maybe there's an alternate unmasked head that comes with this neck, and they accidentally put it on here for these shots, and I don't know. All I do is present pretty promo pictures and then go, pretty promo picture. Cool. And I say it like that because there's no information yet. This is just the initial announcement with a few pictures. There's the 2 I've been showing, and there's one more that may be a spoiler. So if you haven't seen the movie, want to go in clean, the chapters are all listed below. Zoom on ahead. But if you're still here, there's also this picture. Is that a Quantum Realm wine bottle? Is it a weird liquid hourglass? The Sam's Club Ant-Man perfume bottle. Because it comes in bulk. Sam's Club, in case you don't have a Sam's Club. Either way, more information's coming, so get ready to talk about it all again. Sticking with Marvel, of course, we're gonna jump into Hasbro Marvel Legends. First, we already knew about the Target exclusive Yondu, looking all classic and sweet. That went up for pre-order this week. Target also posted their exclusive Hawkeye series tracksuit Mafia troop builder, which I guess can double as comic style if you wanna. Or just get one and use it as Kazi on the shelf. There's options. Pricier at $28, but at least there's 3 head options, 5 weapons. This is the golf club that they teased us with a while back. They were, what the hell is the golf club go to? This. A figure that probably could have used an accessory is the Target exclusive Astonishing Ant-Man. I mean, I really like the head here, and I love that it's on a buffer body than the retro version. But, whew, even if it was reuse, there probably should have been a little shrunk down Ant-Man. Wasn't there one in the San Diego 5-pack of Ant-Man, Giant Man? I don't know. That's been years ago, and I think I've lost that one. Carpet monster. What secrets do you hold? And then Hasbro gave us a better look at the retro-carded Kraven that they revealed last December. You know me, I'm not one for animated looks, but seeing this in the brighter vest and the zebra cuffs, I like the body. Not a big fan of the head. I get it. He's, and for action poses, that's great. But this, him just standing there, what's the matter, Kraven? Nothing. Everything is fun. How are you? You may not have to worry about it, especially if you have one of the older versions. I've been using the 2-pack that uses this head with the darker color scheme. So I don't feel the need for this. Plus, it's Walmart exclusive, so it may be out of your hands. They've gotten better in places, but woo, even has an Arkansan. Some of those are hard to track down. While we're talking Hasbro, let's jump over to the Dungeons & Dragons cartoon classics. This week, they announced Eric, Presto, and Sheila to finish off the main cast. And I'm glad to see these because some of the comments in my review of Wave 1 were, why would they release only half the team? We're not gonna give us the rest of them? Which is a fear, I get. There's some times where it's not worth it, let's not do the rest. So we can all quit worrying now. Here's the rest of them. As far as the figures go, Sheila looks great. I really like the alternate cloak to give the invisibility feel. And then the render on the back of the package where she's reaching up for the hood to activate that. And then Presto has more options than I thought he would. Can hold the hat, and there's plug-in effects that come out around and then clips onto the wrist, or there's an alternate hairpiece to put the hat on and lock it on instead of it just kind of sitting on top of the head sculpt. The glasses being sculpted and painted directly onto the face worries me though. There's a lot of room for error at the factory there. Then there's Eric. One of the complaints for this line is the likenesses to the cartoon, and I think Eric's skews the furthest into modern interpretation. But the expression still comes off as cocky little shit. So that doesn't bug me as much as the silver on the arms and legs. On the package, it is blue, and there's a lot of steals from the cartoon that shows the same, but then there's others that have kind of a blue-gray working to a dark gray, and yeah, even instances of this light gray. But the majority is a darker tone. That's a playday waiting to happen right there. But the biggest complaint for this line is sticky joints, QC issues. I heated up the trouble spots with my Wave 1, but even then I'm still very gentle when I go back and move it. Hopefully that's addressed for Wave 2. Because when it comes down to it, I'm most excited about getting the group together. After all these years, I can call it done, put it in a space, And there's my Dungeons and Dragons. But again, I get the gripes because there are issues. $25 a pop, scheduled for August. But I think the reveals that caught my attention the most this week is the XesRay Studio Combatants Fight for Glory Bulls. Or big beefy bastard Minotaurs. These boys are thick. Apparently they've been showing these for months and months and I've missed it, but I am more than happy to find them now. I don't have any of their gladiator figures, but from what I understand, they are large, standing a bit taller than Mythic Legions. Now, look at this. Holy cow, those are huge. I love that they gave options for the lower leg. There's the hooves, which is what I think of when there's Minotaurs, but at this size, and I'm guessing density, there may be balance issues. So the humanoid feet are appreciated. It's a bit more bang for your buck. It's options. Can't complain about that. And I know it's a little thing, but I'm impressed by the seamlessness of the opening mouth, hidden by the hair hanging down on the sides. Moo. Moo. I want to know more. I need to know more. Hopefully soon. And that's all I got for this week. The G.I.Joe live stream was pushed from this past week to March, so nothing on that at the moment. But Dan on the Hasbro Marvel Legends team said save your money for next week. There's the Super7 Thundercats. McFarlane's going to announce more Titans, I'm sure. Yeah. I'm already looking forward to next week. Ooh, a little Playday tease. This is something I've been working on. I got the primer down. I've just got to paint some straight lines. I so look forward to that.